Greek philosophers and ancient scientists from Greece. This can be found in Chapter 5 of your World History textbook. This picture right here is from the ruins of Mount Olympia, the sign of ancient Olympic games, where sanctuaries consisted of temples and buildings in honor of mythological gods of ancient Egypt. The games began with a ceremony and then a sacrifice to their gods. Philosopher means the lover of wisdom. The idea of a philosopher is to determine to seek the truth no matter where the search leads them. So to question and reach beyond just the norms of everyday life. The two basic assumptions of philosophy was, number one, the universe was put together in an orderly way and subject to absolute and unchanging laws. The other part of it is that people can understand these laws through logic and reason. So the more philosophy, the more thoughts you put into something, the more you can understand. Socrates was one of the most powerful thinkers in history. His method of teaching by question and answer approach was known as the Socratic method. He believed in absolute standards of existence for truth and justice. Greeks should question themselves and their moral character. Those who understood Socrates admired him greatly. The majority of citizens, however, did not understand this strange old man's ways. In 399, when he was about the age of 70, they brought him to trial for corrupting the youth of Athens and neglecting the city of the gods. In his defense, he stated that his teachings were good because they forced Athenians to think about their values and their actions. However, the jury disagreed with him and condemned him to death by drinking a slow-acting poison that started at the toes and worked its way up all the way until he was dead. His quote is, "The unexamined life is not worth living. You need to check yourself regularly and making sure that you are always living accordingly." There's a statue of what Socrates used to look like. Plato was our second philosopher. He was actually a student of Socrates. He was born to a wealthy Athenian family. His career started off as wrestler and a poet before he became a philosopher. At age 28, when Socrates died, he then took over. He is known for writing the book The Republic, which dominated the philosophical ideas and thoughts in Europe for about 1500 years. He also started a school called the Academy in 387, which lasted for approximately 900 years. The book The Republic talks about perfecting a government society, or perfecting the governed society. His philosophy was to begin with a wonder, to think about things. I wonder why. I wonder what if. That was his idea of philosophy. And searching for the truth. And here's Plato. Our last major philosopher is going to be Aristotle. Aristotle was born in 384 BC. He was a Greek philosopher, and he was a student of Plato. He's also known as being a teacher of Alexander the Great. He invented the method of arguing according to rules of logic and formed basis on the scientific method. He believed in what his teacher Plato had said, and his writings covered many subjects including physics, poetry, theater, music, logic, political, government, and ethics, and biology. He had a large range of thinking, but he went farther than just beginning with a wonder. He also brought into the scientific aspects of things. His father was actually a physician, Alexander the Great's father. And so he believed also that the world was full of biology and ideas like this. His writings were the first to create a comprehensive system in the Western philosophy and encompassed the ideas of moral obligations, logic, science, and politics. Math, science, and technology. Eratosthenes is going to be a Greek mathematician, geographer, poet, athlete, and astronomer. He was the first person to calculate the circumference of the earth using measurement systems. He was the closest to calculate the Earth's actual true size back in Greece. He was also the first to calculate the tilt of the Earth's axis and is the one that invented the leap day. Aristarchus is going to be the one that comes up with the sun as the center of the universe and that the sun was larger than the planet. He believed that it was the sun that was in the center of the universe and that the earth revolved around the sun. However, his ideas are going to be rejected over the favor of the genocentric theory Aristotle came up with. Aristotle believed that the earth was the center of the universe and that the sun revolved around the earth. Anyway, his hypothesis said that the stars were fixed and the sun remained unmoved, and the earth and all the planets then revolved around the sun. Hipparchus is going to be a Greek astronomer and geographer mathematician of the Hellenistic period. His main contribution was that he applied rigorous mathematical principles to determine a place on the earth. He was the first to do so by specifically using longitude and latitude, so that's what he's known for. Euclid and Pythagoras is all about geometry. The ideas of mathematical ideas have a pattern, have a shape. Pythagorean theorems use a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which is going to be helpful with right angles. Archimedes is a mathematician and a physicist whose work explains a lot of mechanics. He is considered one of the greatest mathematicians of all times. He gave a remarkable accuracy in his ideas of pi, and he was also able to prove that a sphere had 2/3 the volume of the surface of a cylinder. He also is going to show the principles of a lever seen in this picture.